Gio, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. We'll start with your beard. We've seen you have a beard before. You got an off-season beard. What was the inspiration behind it this time?
First of all, great to see you again. It's been just trying to concentrate in the soccer. Just let it grow a little bit during this period until we play our first match. And as of now, it's been okay. You know, when it bothers me, it will be gone.
How did you spend your off-season? What did you do?
So we stay in Portland. It's one of the few years that we haven't traveled away to see family. We decided to stay to keep safe, to make sure that we concentrate in the family here and preparing for what was going to be the 2021 year. So we decided to be here. So we enjoyed Portland. We enjoyed Christmas here. And we had a good time. You know, with the family, it was good not to go anywhere. Of course, we miss our family abroad. But it was good to stay in Portland during this time.
I know you're someone who's very reflective. When you look back at 2020, a year that every manager in the world had never had to deal with what they had to deal with in 2020, what lessons do you take? What did you learn from what you had to manage through last year?
There's a lot of things that you can look into it and say, you know, I think this 2020 brought so many bad things. But it made us reflect in so many important things that sometimes, you know, you overlook. And it's the understanding of, you know, that you have to adapt to everything that is thrown at you and how important it is to have a good group that can adapt to those moments united, which, you know, I was very proud of the way the guys here conducted themselves. Is the luck that you have also in your house to be able to have, you know, your kids back, you know, from college or from high school, and you can, you know, have more time with them and enjoy conversations. And so that was also another part that makes you reflect and think, you know, the importance of family and being together. For me, is the moment how people react to be able to come up with ideas and make sure that you can continue to stay competitive, you know, from the MLS standpoint, to find a bubble, to create, you know, this situation that, you know, in order for us to compete. Then how to manage the phases that we were able to go through after, and from the standpoint of an organization, how to be able to deal in the best, you know, possible way. For the owners, the difficult situation, you know, you now have to deal with things that you didn't expect that you had to deal with, you know, stadiums that are empty, teams that have to travel now, you know, on a constant basis of charter flights, and we were fortunate that we had the chance to be able to have 5 substitutions, that we can have more players on the bench, and these things help. So there's so many things to reflect, and I can go on and on nature and the other things that are part of life that were very interesting to see and reflect during 2020.
As you get ready for 2021, preseason, like, it's different because it's in a pandemic. It's also different because your first game is a CONCACAF Champions League game. It's not one of 34 games where maybe you can tweak and get things right. It's one of 2. It's a knockout round. How does that change preseason?
So you still have to focus 100% in getting the team ready to compete and to put, you know, the strength and the work and everything in order to be able to start your season the best possible way. The difference is what you said, is that when you start the season, you start with everybody being on the same, you know, shape, on the same line to start. But in this case, you have to play in a CONCACAF Champion against teams that are being playing constantly. I mean, Marathon has been playing every weekend and every weekday, you know, basically 2 times a week. So they're further ahead. So we have to be smarter where we go to play this match in Honduras. Understand that it's, as you say, a knockout, you know, 2 matches and then you advance or you are eliminated. So you need to be very pragmatic, and the group need to understand exactly what the plan is going to be and execute it. And this is going to be very important. I think the longer the MLS teams will be able to go, those teams that can continue to qualify, the stronger we will be. But these first, you know, matches are going to be the tough matches to play.
It'll be your first time managing the Timbers in CONCACAF Champions League. What does the opportunity mean for the club from your perspective?
So I've been fortunate to be able to represent Venezuela, so I understand the international play when you go beyond your borders and the importance of what you represent. So we're very proud to represent the United States in this competition, to represent MLS, and that's one thing that we take, you know, to the heart. Second is we represent, what we have, the Portland Timbers, our club, and we want to do the best that we can to be able to make sure that we make our fans, be very happy, proud of us. We want to compete now in this international competition with new teams and make our team more better, more, a little smarter in how to deal with these matches, which are very different than MLS matches, because you find conditions that sometimes will be beyond what you expected before. And it's good that we have some international players that have been there before. I think that will be a big help for us.
You've mentioned already this year that you thought last season you guys were getting closer to how you wanted to play. How would you describe what that ultimate kind of goal is of how you want to play?
Yeah, I think we, from 2018 when we came here, we had an idea. And we have to, make steps. We thought at the beginning a little bit faster, but then we realized we had to make, steps that were a little bit more secure to make sure that we were competitive. And that gave us the final in 2018, gave us the chance to have a pretty good year in 2019, making the playoff, and the US Open Cup, make it to the semifinal. Still not good enough where we wanted to be, in the final stages of the competition. And I think a very good 2020 in which finally we saw a team that can have more possession, that can hit you in different ways, in the way we score goals, that is smart in how we manage games. I think we did a very good job in MLS back tournament. Unfortunately, during the season, we didn't do such a good job in the final few minutes in some of the matches that condition us not to be able to be a team that could have won. I think more than just MLS, back. I think we could have been contenders to the Supporters' Shield because we were almost at the end. So we could have had even a better year, but it was the way we played that the guys enjoyed, that they had fun. And teams sometimes struggle to know exactly, how to stop some of the things that we did, because I feel that our attack became very creative and we didn't just play one way to hurt teams. We did very different things, and I think that definitely helped us to be a team that was more competitive last year. And I think our group, the entire group, whoever you put into the game, they will execute what we needed to. And even in the moment that we had two DPs being out, which I think any other team would have struggled big time, I think we still stayed competitive, and we could have made it all the way to the end. So now I think we have to keep that in mind. We have to become even better, fix those things that I think we have to be better at. And now hopefully with Seba coming back and he's got to be even a stronger team than we were last year.
Along those lines of the success of last year, I think when supporters look at the roster on opening day this year, it's going to look pretty similar. Right? A couple additions, Jose Carlos Van Rankin, Claudio Bravo, but the core of the team is basically the same. Can you talk a little bit about the offseason philosophy and why there's so much confidence in this group moving forward from last year into this year?
Yes, I think that the confidence was shown by them, the way they play, and how we felt that they execute basically a lot of the things that we asked them to do. And that evolution of our game was very evident last year. So we felt that why change something that is working? Make sure that we get some pieces. We had to make some changes for different reasons that had to do from players feeling that, maybe they wanted to experience, something else. Or others that maybe in the roster, because of the rules of MLS, maybe, could have stayed in a roster. But we felt pretty confident with the majority of the team that we had. Bringing a couple of pieces we felt that would be good, because it's always good to bring new blood that is going to compete. And I think it's going to be hopefully very similar or better than we saw last year, because we need to improve in some areas in order to be a more competitive team.
Gio, we appreciate you taking the time before this season to chat with us. Good luck in 2021.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.